visiting your children or in Florida or?
Going to Miami, I'm gonna see my sister.
Lovely.
I'm gonna go to DC and spend the weekend with Robin, and then I'm gonna come back and go to Miami and spend a month.
Mm.
It's this same weather.
It is this. Yeah. Shabbat shalom. Shabbat shalom. You're back. You're back. How was your trip? Wonderful. Oh, it's hard to be in this heat, and I haven't gone anywhere. I'm just not used to it. Yeah, and it's only made it hotter. It's too early. So we're going to camp next week. So I mean, Utica, Mississippi might be able to. But we outside a lot. Different parts of the camp. But I feel like the trees and all the middle parts. So, but it'll be fine. We'll melt a little. For humanity, there was a time period in humanity before we went from air conditioning to air conditioning. There wasn't air conditioning. Yeah, it was good. Everybody can, My brother, nephew, and mother are all together at an amusement park in Ohio. And my mom sent me a radio to go on the ride to and I'm like, what's the temperature? And my mom said, I didn't go on it, it's crazy, it's only in the 60s. And I was like, sounds like a low change walk around in a different person versus like my brother and nephew went on the You do it to put on your, I'm assuming that's what my brother said. What? I did, I just got it this week. Yes. Yeah. Joel, see, I said it, and now we have way more than a million. anybody who just came in, was the Jefferson backed up because of the being one lane? I think I'll wait a minute or so. It's been like that all week. The one lane has been closed for whatever work they're doing. Is that a water bottle? It's shiny. I like. It's. Does it keep your water cold? As I shout at you from the Bima. Yeah.
There was a big pile of rubble now.
Yeah, that was. I think that happened Wednesday or Thursday. I just remember like the first time it was like that when I drove by to turn in here, maybe Monday or Tuesday. I was like, why is the road closed? They're not doing anything. And then I realized they're doing like electrical work. And then that tore up part showed up.
Have you discovered the best thing whenever it's really crazy on Jefferson is just to turn into a church and not supposed to rain or shine and just go around? That was always my trick for picking up from Rainer whenever Jefferson was sick.
Ah, that's smart. I will say people turn into our lot thinking they're turning into that lot sometimes. Yeah. I've learned like my schedule is flexible enough that I can offset it. Like I'm not going to drive here at rush hour unless there like is something I absolutely have to be here for, and I'm not going to leave at rush hour. So I'll either leave right before or I'll leave after, which I've learned. I already started thinking about when the transition happens because my drive here is pretty quick. What traffic and stuff, because I'll probably have to hop on 10 for me. So that'll change my traffic also.
I know that you're getting off at Acadian on 10, usually get there pretty seamlessly, but if you're going to like Starville, so
Yeah. On the schedule, yeah. I should ask both of you, how does it feel to have one less child in your home? I'm gonna wait another 10 minutes to start now. And I never throw gummy. Do you want me to make you go outside and pray on the patio again? Like, it's so cool and comfortable out right now. Is it going better in your house?
I mean,
Does Toby miss Ari when one's? Oh yeah. And then when they're both there, they don't want to be together, and then yeah.
did day camp twice this week. He otherwise just refused.
Just didn't want to go. Yeah. Well, I will spy on them both when I leave on Sunday, and I have treats I'm taking for them also. Well, Shabbat Shalom, everyone. If I don't start services, the Stevenson family will start throwing rotten apples or eggs, or you pick. Just kidding. I hope everybody is, I want to say staying cool. Maybe you're not spending too much time outside. As the person who is not used to an early June heat wave, even though this is about the time I think we got here last year, but I don't think it was quite this hot. So hopefully everyone is, like I was told early on from my arrival, either going from air conditioning to air conditioning, or is able to stay cool with whatever their outdoor activities are. I am hoping as I leave on Sunday to go to Jacob's camp that I don't melt, but I don't know if it's hotter in Utica, Mississippi or cooler.
It's hot.
Hotter? You're making me so excited for this adventure.
Yeah.
We bought the ones that like go around your neck. Yeah. Yeah. How long's the power been out? I saw something on Facebook, but I thought it had to do with something else. I didn't think it actually meant power. That was me trying to dig way too deep into this. I might call before I leave and be like, is it working? Oh, lovely, lovely. Well, I know I'm actually very, very excited to get to spend the week at Jacob's Camp and to see our Baton Rouge. We have a good number of Baton Rouge campers at Jacob's Camp, and to see our Baton Rouge kids and kind of just, I'm a big proponent of Jewish summer camp, and I haven't been in a few years, so I have the opportunity to jump in to the fun and do some out-of-the-box teaching, as they'll have us do while we're up there. So as we enter Shabbat, I'm curious, that's my excitement for this week. I leave on Sunday to go to Jacob's Camp. Anybody thinking about something this Shabbat, the excitement that they're thinking about as we enter Shabbat that they want to share? You got a new water bottle? Nice. Does it keep your water cold in this heat?
Yeah, but it doesn't hold water.
Oh, so you gotta refill it a lot. Yeah. Anybody have any excitements they want to share? You have another one?
I got to go see the USS Kid.
Very. Was that your first time? No. Okay. Very cool.
I thought it's been here a while, isn't it, up to preteen?
Sorry? I just didn't catch the whole thing, I'm sure.
It's been got there.
I thank you. So we should change the name of it.
It's not a kid anymore.
Yes, USS Preteen. Paula will be here all night. Any exciting things we're thinking about? Yeah, Richard.
I've been learning card tricks, magic tricks, and taking it on the road and hustling people for donations for charity. And last Saturday, somebody decides they want to bet $1,000 when I was playing for $10 and $20. And luckily, I didn't mess the hand up. Because I messed the next hand up for only $20.
In like 3 years, we can all say we knew Richard when we see you on AGT, right?
They're gonna have a booth set up for me at our national convention to raise money. But if I lose, it comes out of my pocket. If I win, it'll raise a lot of money. The only way to lose is to forget one step in these tricks. And there are a lot of steps at my age, and I keep practicing. So that's exciting.
Anybody else?
Is hustle another word for swindle?
The fellow who lost $1,000 was going to donate $1,000 anyway. I'm pretty
For a
sure.
good cause, though. It's going for a good cause. Anybody else? Things we're thinking about as we enter Shabbat?
Today is Bloomsday.
What does that mean?
Well, in James Joyce's novel Ulysses,
Should know your
Bloom
own
is
discretion.
roaming around Dublin. And
Okay.
it's actually on June the 16th, 1922, I think. I don't know the exact year, but today's the day, so it's something that folks would like.
I really think we need a petition. Every time I have a conversation with you, I think we need a petition to get you a deputy, right? I think the congregation should do it. Wonderful. Well, let us think of these trivia things and these exciting things going on in our life as we enter Shabbat. I invite you to open up your prayer book to page 120, where we will find our Shabbat candle blessing. Do you want to do it? Come on up. David will light our candles for us, and then we'll join together in our blessing. Let us bring in the warmth of Shabbat and join together. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kidshanu b'mitzvotav, v'tzivanu lehadlik ner shel Shabbat. Wonderful. Thank you for helping. Let us turn now to page 127 and read together. There are days when we seek things for ourselves and measure failure by what we do not gain. On Shabbat, we seek not to acquire, but to share. There are days when we exploit nature as if it were a horn of plenty that can never be exhausted. On Shabbat, we stand in wonder before the mystery of creation. There are days when we act as if we cared nothing for the rights of others. On Shabbat, we remember that justice is our duty and a better world our goal. So we embrace Shabbat, day of rest, day of wonder, day of peace. Let us welcome Shabbat with the words of Lecha Dodi, page 138 and 139. Lecha Dodi likrat kala yalalai 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 Panei Shabbat nekabela Lecha Dodi likrat kala yalalai 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 Panei Shabbat nekabela Shamor v'zachor bedibor echad Hishmianu el hameyuchad Adonai echad u'shmo echad L'Shem u'tiferet ve'litila Lecha Dodi likrat kala yalalai 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 Panei Shabbat nekabela Lecha Dodi likrat kala yalalai 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 Panei Shabbat nekabela Likrat Shabbat lechu v'nilcha ki hi mekor habracha merosh mikedem nesucha sof ma'aseh b'maksheva techila Lecha Dodi likrat kala yalalai 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 Panei Shabbat nekabela Lecha Dodi likrat kala yalalai 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 Panei Shabbat nekabela Hitoreri kiva orechu mi ori uri shir daberi kevod Adonai alaich nigla Lecha Dodi likrat kala yalalai 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 Panei Shabbat nekabela Lecha Dodi likrat kala yalalai 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 Panei Shabbat nekabela I invite you to rise and to face the door if you wish to greet Shabbat. Boi v'shalom ateret bala gam besimcha u'besohola toch emunei am segula boi chala Lecha Dodi likrat kala yalalai 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 Panei Shabbat nekabela Lecha Dodi likrat kala yalalai 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 Panei Shabbat nekabela Before you take your seats, I'm going to invite you to find someone across the room. Quickly wish them a Shabbat Shalom, someone that you did not arrive with, someone you're not having dinner with. Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom. They did this today, so, but yes. Give you credit, you started. invite you to make your way back to your seats as we continue the theme of welcoming. Let us welcome the ministering angels of Shabbat with the words of Shalom Aleichem, page 142. Shalom Aleichem, Malachei Hasharet, Malachei Elyon, Mi Melech, Malachei Hamlachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu, Boachem L'Shalom, Malachei HaShalom, Malachei Elyon, Mi Melech, Malachei Hamlachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu, Baruch Hu Ni L'Shalom, Malachei HaShalom, Malachei Elyon, Mi Melech, Malachei Hamlachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu, Seitchem L'Shalom, Malachei HaShalom, Malachei Elyon, Mi Melech, Malachei Hamlachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Page 144. Yikadal v'ikadash Shemei Rabbah, Be'alma divrach yotev yamlich malchutei, B'chayechon u'byomechon, Uv'chayei dekol Beit Yisrael, Bagala, Bagala, Uvizman Kariv, Ve'imeru, Yahei Shmei Rabbah Mevorach, Le'olam olam me'omaya, Yitbarach v'yishtabach, v'yitpa'ar v'yitroman v'yitnaseh, v'yitadar v'yitaleh v'yitalal Shemei Kudesha, Le'elam min kol berchata v'shirata, Tushbechata v'nechemata, Damiran Be'alma Ve'imeru. As we turn the page to page 146, I invite you to rise. Yai la 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 la, Yai la 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 la, Yai la 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 la, Yai la 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 la, Yai la 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 la, Yai la 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 la, Yai la 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 la, Yai la 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 la. Baruch Hu et Adonai, Hamevorach, Baruch Adonai, Hamevorach, Hamevorach, Le'olam va'ed, Hamevorach, Hamevorach, Le'olam va'ed. I invite you to be seated. Let us read together on page 148. Blessed are you, Adonai our God, ruler of the universe, who speaks the evening into being, skillfully opens the gates, thoughtfully alters the time and changes the seasons, and arranges the stars in their heavenly courses according to plan. You are creator of day and night, rolling light away from darkness and darkness from light,
transforming day into night and distinguishing one from the other. Adonai Sivaot is your name. Ever-living God, may you reign continually over us into eternity. Blessed are you, Adonai, who brings on evening. Baruch atah Adonai, hama'ariv, aravim. Let us continue reading together on page 150. Everlasting love, you offered your people Israel by teaching us Torah and mitzvot, laws and precepts. Therefore, Adonai, our God, when we lie down and when we rise up, we will meditate on your laws and your commandments. We will rejoice in your Torah forever. Day and night we will reflect on them, for they are our life, and doing them lengthens our days. Never remove your love from us. Praise to you, Adonai, who loves your people Israel. Baruch atah Adonai, Ohev Amo Yisrael. As we turn the page, if it is your custom to rise for Shema, I invite you to do so. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad, Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto Leolam Va'ed. I invite you to be seated as we continue chanting together page 154. Ve'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha b'kol lavavcha u'v'chol nafshecha u'v'chol meodecha v'hayu hadavarim ha'ele asher anochi mitzavecha hayom al levavecha v'shinantam levanecha v'dibarta bam b'shivtecha b'veitecha uvleftecha v'derech u'shokbecha uvkumecha ukshartam leot al yadecha v'hayu letotafot b'neinecha uchtavtam al mezuzot beitecha uvisharecha leman tizkeru va'asitem et kol mitzvotai v'hitem kidoshim lelohechem ani Adonai Elohechem asher hotzeiti atchem me'eretz Mitzrayim lihiot lachem le'elohim ani Adonai Elohechem Adonai Elohechem emet. Let us read responsively, alternating by indented lines on page 157. In a world torn by violence and pain, a world far from wholeness and peace, give us the courage to say, Adonai, there is one God in heaven and earth. From bondage in Egypt we were delivered. At Sinai we bound ourselves to your way. Inspired by prophets and instructed by sages, time and again we overcame oppressive forces. Though our failings are many and our faults are great, it has been our glory to bear witness to our God, keeping alive in dark ages your vision of a world redeemed. Mi chamocha ba'elim Adonai, mi kamocha nedar ba'kodesh, nora tehilot, o seifele, mi chamocha ba'elim Adonai, mi kamocha nedar Bakodesh. I'm curious if anyone has ever woken up in the middle of the night. You're kind of in that state between awake and sleep. You try to open your eyes, but you don't really know your surroundings, even though they are the same surroundings you go to bed in every night. And something just comes over you. Has anybody ever experienced that before? I definitely have. There are these moments that moment right before you hope you roll over and fall back to sleep. That's the moment I'm talking about. That you can't really determine what's going on around you. And because of moments like those, because it is human nature when it is dark, when our eyes can't adjust to what's going on around us, for us to feel something, whether that be fear, whether that be excitement, whether that be confusion, whatever it is, it's human nature to feel something. And many parts of our liturgy that were put together a very long time ago are there to help us navigate those moments. Although the sun is still up because of the time we do services, our evening prayer Hashkivenu is for moments just like that. So possibly the next time before you roll over and fall back asleep, you can think of this idea that we talk about in Hashkivenu about having a Sukkot Shalom, a shelter of peace over us, no matter where we are. So as we read these words together on page 160, I want you to think about what is your Sukkot Shalom? What is your shelter of peace, whether that be during the day or in that moment where you wake up in the middle of the night? What is it for you? And let us read together on page 160. Grant, O God, that we lie down in peace and raise us up, our guardian, to life renewed. Spread over us the shelter of your peace. Guide us with your good counsel. For your name's sake, be our help. Shield and shelter us beneath the shadow of your wings. Defend us against enemies, illness, war, famine, and sorrow. Distance us from wrongdoing. For you, God, watch over us and deliver us. For you, God, are gracious and merciful. Guard our going and coming to life and to peace evermore. Blessed are you, Adonai, guardian of Israel, whose shelter of peace is spread over us, over all your people Israel, and over Jerusalem. Baruch atah Adonai, haporei sukkot shalom aleinu, ve'al kol amo Yisrael, ve'al Yerushalayim. Top of page 162. V'shamru v'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat, la'asot et ha-Shabbat ledorotam berit olam, beini uvein b'nei Yisrael, oti leolam, oti leolam. V'shamru v'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat, sot et ha-Shabbat ledorotam berit olam. Ki sheshet yamim asa Adonai et ha-shamayim v'et ha'aretz, v'shamru v'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat, la'asot et ha-Shabbat ledorotam berit olam. Uvayom hashvi'i Shabbat vayinafash, Shabbat vayinafash, Shabbat vayinafash. V'shamru v'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat, la'asot et ha-Shabbat ledorotam berit olam. Page 164 and following, we enter our central prayers of our evening service, our Amidah, and I invite you to rise. Mechatal, Mechakel Chaim Bechesed, Mechaye Hakol Berachamim Rabim, So Noflim Berofei Cholim, Umatir Asurim, Umekayem Emunato, Lishenei Afar, Nichamocha Baal Gevurot, Umidom Melach, Melech Memit, Umechaye, Umatzmiach Yeshua, Beneheman Atzalach Achayot Hakol, Baruch Atah Adonai, Mechaye Hakol, Atah Kadosh V'Shimcha Kadosh, U'Kadoshim B'Kol Yom Hallelujah Selah, Baruch Atah Adonai, Hallel HaKadosh. I invite you to continue silently either the words you find on the pages on page 180 or the words you find in your own hearts this evening, and I invite you to be seated whenever you wish. Say shalom bimromav, hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael, ve'imru, imru, amen. Ya'aseh shalom, ya'aseh shalom, Shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael, Ya'aseh shalom, Ya'aseh shalom, Shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Many of us at this moment might be feeling that shalom, might be feeling that sense of peace. But we know there are those both with us this evening and in our friends, our family, our community, and across the world who might still be searching for their peace, possibly because they suffer illness, illness of body, illness of spirit, or illness of mind. So we turn our prayers now to those in need of healing. Our UJCBR prayer of healing can be found on page 371. As a community, we think of Joy Lewis, Lucy Silva, Minabat Yentl, Mordechai Bendina, Rowan Hausman, Anna Carlo, Judy Roheim, Frida Tamaro Batliba Bela, Menucha Pasa Bat Cherny Umoshe, Gretchen Haynes, Steve Sinkoff, Ruby Smolinski, Lee Kaplan, Jennifer Casson, Vicky Furstel, Storm Matthews, Terry Stern, Judith Von Brentnell, Kaylee Barron, Zisel Bat Yentl, David Berman, Harvey Schwartzberg, Maxine Cohn, David Leek, and Carol Smolinski. If there are others you are thinking of in need of healing, if you'd like to share their names aloud, I invite you to do so.
James Silver and Jeffrey Silver.
For those names we heard aloud and those whom we hold in our hearts, let us pray for healing. UJCBR Avotenu Mekor habracha leimotenu. May the source of strength, who bless the ones before us, help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say Amen. MiSheberach imotenu mekor habracha leavotenu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shlema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say Amen. 13 years ago, this week's Torah portion was chanted by classmates of mine at our Shabbat morning ordination ceremony. It was the last Torah portion I heard chanted before I was officially ordained a rabbi. I can remember it as if it was yesterday. I was sitting in my black robe, thanks goodness I don't have to wear that very often anymore, trying to pray and trying to enjoy the Shabbat morning service. But I'll be honest, I was sitting there with sweat dripping down my cheeks as my nerves took a hold of me. All I could think about was, where would this journey of being a rabbi take me? I thought about how in that moment I did not exactly know what I was doing next or where I was headed. As I allowed my mind to wander, I tried to dream of only positive scenarios for those first few years of being a rabbi. I tried not to fear the unknown of what would be ahead of me. I tried to be like Joshua and Caleb in this week's Torah portion. This week's Torah portion, which is a story many of you I'm sure know, tells the story of the spies who are sent to scout the land of Israel. 12 spies are sent, but 2 different reports return with them. 10 say the country that we traversed and scouted is one that devours its settlers. All the people that we saw in it are men of great size, and we look like grasshoppers to ourselves. And so much the more so, we must have looked to them. Joshua and Caleb, however, say, the land that we traversed and scouted is an exceedingly good land. Have no fear, then, of the people of the country, for they are our prey. Their protection has departed from them, but the Lord is with us. Have no fear of them. I think it's a remarkable contrast. The same exact experience, yet entirely different responses. I am sure all of you now are thinking of a moment in your life that you experienced with someone else, and now years later you retell that story slightly differently than the person you experienced that with. Some spies see only challenges and difficulties. Joshua and Caleb see possibilities. Joshua and Caleb only see that very famous phrase, a land flowing with milk and honey. The other spies see giants. They even imagine mythic figures who will overpower them. For this good report that Joshua and Caleb brought back, and them alone, they are rewarded. What's their reward? Who remembers? Oh, I know you know it. Yep, they're allowed to go into the land. They're the only 2 of the generation who leave Egypt who are allowed to enter the land. How could 12 people go on a trip, see the same thing, and 10 of them come back with one very definitive report, and 2 of them disagree entirely? If you read closely, Caleb and Joshua don't actually contradict the words of the original report given by the other 10 spies. They were there. They saw it too. They agree that the land of Israel is filled with big, scary tribes. They agree that we looked like grasshoppers to them. And yet they still say, we can do it. Winston Churchill once said, a pessimist sees the difficulty in every opportunity. An optimist sees the opportunity in every difficulty. The Israelites are in a challenging situation here, and there's not much they can do about it. They can't change the fact that they've just come from slavery. They can't change the fact that the promised land is inhabited by larger tribes. All they can change is what they choose to focus on. 10 of the scouts come back from their tour pessimistic. They just can't get past that fear of failure that paralyzes them. To be honest, we know that's why they needed to wander in the wilderness for the next 38 years. Because if they had entered the promised land with that attitude, they probably would have failed. Joshua and Caleb are the only ones who choose to focus on the opportunity rather than the barrier. They're the only ones who choose to see that although the situation is challenging and scary, it's also a chance to grow and to accomplish something. And that is why Joshua and Caleb are the only original Israelites to enter the land. A lesson I think each one of us should reteach ourselves year after year after year. But it's also a lesson that is much harder than it seems. I don't know about you, but for me, if something isn't going well, if something seems difficult, it is so much easier to point out what might go wrong than point out all of the things that could go right. Rabbi Joseph Telushkin wrote in his book, Jewish Humor, a group of elderly retired men gather each morning at a cafe in Tel Aviv. They drink their coffee and sit for hours discussing the world situation. Given the state of the world, their talks usually are depressing. One day, one of the men startled the others by announcing, "You know what? I'm an optimist." The others are shocked, but then one of them explains, "Wait a minute. If you're an optimist, why do you always look so worried?" The other responds, "You think it's easy to be an optimist?" In a world where schools, synagogues, churches, nightclubs, and even malls don't always feel safe, and people disagree with each other more than they seem to agree, it is very hard to try to be an optimist. But I think we need to remind ourselves every year that we must at least try. So I invite you to think about whatever is going on in your own life right now. Whether it's going really, really, really well, no, I'm not going to make you share, or whether it's not going so well. And try to be an optimist. Try to pick out the things that could be great versus picking out the things that might go wrong. Because I hope on this Shabbat and really every day that we surround ourselves with the support we need to strive to be optimistic. That we seek out chances to become whatever that is to be the best version of ourselves. And to always know that we each, no matter our situations, no matter if we feel like a grasshopper, have the capability to accomplish great things. Shabbat Shalom. Can I have some helpers? You want to help? You want to help? You want to help? You want to help? They already know what they're doing. So I'm going to invite everybody to turn in our prayer books to page 586. You're going to get some candy. That is true in a moment, though. I'm going to invite the helpers to walk up the steps. And all of you together, open up that ark, and I'm going to invite the congregation on page 586 to please rise. Nice job, helpers. Good job. And you guys are going to stay up there. But you're going to look and face all of the pretty Torahs. Look for letters, look for colors, look for pictures, and join us if you know it in Aleinu. Aleinu l'shabeach l'adon hakol, l'teit gidula liotzer breshit, shelo asanu kigoye haratzo, velo samanu kamishpachot adama, shelo sam chalkinu kahan, vegor aleinu kechol hamonam, va'anachnu korim, v'mishkachavim umodim, lifnei melech malei halachim, hakadosh baruch hu, shehu notei shamayim ve'yoser haaretz, u'moshe yikaro b'shamayim yima'al, u'shkina tuzo, ve'gopei meromim, hu Eloheinu ein od, evet malkeinu efes ulato, kakatuv b'torato, vayadata hayom v'hashavota el levavecha, ki Adonai hu ha'Elohim, b'shamayim yima'al, ve'al haaretz mitachat ein od. Let us read together on page 591. May we gain wisdom in our lives, overflowing like a river with understanding. Love each of us for the peace we bring to others. May our deeds exceed our speech. May we never lift up our hand but to conquer fear and doubt and despair. Rise up like the sun, O God, over all humanity. Cause light to go forth over all the lands between the seas, and light up the universe with the joy of wholeness Shabbat's supposed to be sweet. It'll just be extra sweet for Toby. As our evening prayers begin to draw to a close, we turn our thoughts to our loved ones who are no more. Tonight we note the recent passing of John Carlson, who will be laid to rest on Sunday morning at 9:30 at the cemetery on Florida Boulevard. We think of two people who passed away in the past 30 days and whose family members are observing Shloshim, Stacy Summer and Alvin Mykoff. To their names, we add the names of those who passed away during this past year: John Wormser, Robert Eisenbach, Jerry Suppos, Donald Kim, Hannah Bine, Nathan Zuckerman, Bernie Flicker, Herman Van Oz, Shirley Marvin, Victoria Vestel, Morris Bonadonna, Lynn Schmulin, Jerry Black, Abraham Hutt, Ronald St. Pierre, Josh Yellen, Celestina Kovacevic, Margaret Shaw, Albert Frankel, Jerry Adams, Stephen Zuckerwin, Erwin Shabe, Jeannie Samuels, and Robert Berenson. To their names, we add the names of those who died at this season in years past, and whose family members are observing the Yortzeit, the anniversary of death, on this Shabbat. Louis Aronofsky, Alla Bander, Betty Berg, Charles Bombette, Mark Cohn, Augusta Dernan, Paul Goldberg, Charles Hurd, Max Herzog, Annalie Jaffe, Ernest Kahn, Richard Levin, Anna Lipsy, Louis Monet, Mary Nachman, Isabel Posner, Frida Roheim, Charles Rosenson, Ruth Roth, Judge Alvin Rubin, Eliyahu Weinstein, and to their names, we add the names of your loved ones. If there are other people you are remembering this evening, if you'd like to share their name aloud, I invite you to do so. For those names we heard aloud and those whom we hold in our hearts, I invite you to turn to the words of Mourner's Kaddish, page 598, and I invite you to rise if you wish. Yit gadol v'yit kadash shemei rabba, be'alma divrach yotev yamlich malchute, b'chayachon v'yomechon uv'chayei dekol beit Yisrael, ba'agala uvizman kari v'imru. Amen. Yahei shmei rabba mevarach le'olam ulamei almaya. Yit barach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitroman v'yitnaseh. V'yitzadar v'yitzaleh v'yitzalal shmei dekudasha barichu. Le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata. Tushbechata v'nechamata. Da'amiran be'alma v'imru. Amen. Yahei shlama rabba min shemaya, v'chayim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru. Amen. Osei shalom b'mromav, hu ya'aseh shalom, aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru. Amen. Zikronam livracha, may all their memories be for a blessing. As together we say. You may be seated. I'm going to invite Lindsay, representing our board, to share a few announcements. And yes, I know if I say announcements next week, they're going to make me do something silly, I'm sure, in a room full of campers. So, Hoda Oat. You helping your mom?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Can you say those two words?
Shabbat Shalom.
Thank you.
There you go. You got that one. Thank
you for joining us tonight for services.
Great job. Can I read the rest of it so we can be out of here before tomorrow? Tomorrow morning there will be Torah study in the social hall at 9:30 a.m. and on Zoom. There will be Shabbat Minyan in the green room at 10 a.m. There will be services in the sanctuary at 10:30 a.m. and on YouTube. At 7:30 p.m. there will be Havdalah hosted by the Saxies on Zoom. Look in your mailbox this week for the UJCBR directory. We got ours. Very exciting. Next Friday night, Rabbi Barry Weinstein will be leading our 6 p.m. service here in the sanctuary. Next Saturday, there will be only Shabbat Minyan at 10 a.m. in the green room. There will not be Torah study or the 10:30 a.m. sanctuary service. For information about other programs and events happening, please look at the weekly email or go to our website.
Shabbat Shalom.
Thank you.
Future synagogue board member there. Current and future. Wonderful, wonderful. So like I said, I leave on Sunday to be with Jacob's camp for the week, so I will get to spend Shabbat at camp next Shabbat. Yeah, I'll see you when you come. You're coming, right? On Saturday, like a week from tomorrow? Yeah. Eliana is very excited also. So next Shabbat I will be there and not here. So we're lucky Rabbi Barry has agreed to lead services for Friday night. And then Saturday morning, everyone will join together in the 10 a.m. Minyan service. Let us conclude tonight by doing Kiddush and Motzi. And I'm going to invite all of those kids, if they want to come back up. But up right there where the Kiddush and Motzi stuff is. Yeah, come up. Will you come up too? Rebecca, do you want to come up? Up here. Go up in the front, Are you going to lift it for us? Come on up. Okay, Jacob's going to hold the cup, and then after we do Kiddush together, I'll ask everybody else to take the challah cover up. But we're on page 123, and I invite you to rise. Please join with us. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei pari hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kiddishanu b'mitzvotav v'ratzavanu v'shabbat kodsho be'ahava uvratzon hinchilanu zikaron lema'aseh v'reishit ki hu yom techila lamikrae kodesh zecher letziat mitzrayim ki vanu v'charta ve'otanu kidashta mikol ha'amim ve'shabbat kodshecha be'ahava uvratzon hinchaltanu. Raise it up, Jacob. Baruch atah Adonai mekadesh hashabbat lechaim. I don't know what's in it. You just had a lollipop. I'm sure it'll be delicious. It was probably Manischewitz with that face, because it was a half good. Okay, so, you want to come back and help uncover the challah? Will you uncover, Rebecca, will you uncover the challah? And Shiloh, will you take that from her and then put it underneath? Thank you. Let us join together. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam hamotzi lechem min haaretz. Shabbat Shalom. If you'd like to take some challah, please take some challah, and Shabbat Shalom, everyone. Yes. Yeah.
Can I tell you why I trapped the Torah open?
It needs a breather. Yes, so because the case is like airtight, it's not really airtight, but it's like pretty nicely tight. It does, because of it being written on parchment, it does sometimes. Yeah.
His name, what's your name?
David. I have no idea. You know, it's only 7:04, so I think we're on good terms again. Don't worry, I'll make sure your kid's on the blob when I jump off that thing. I'm not doing that. Thank you. I like your sparkles and your very fancy shoes. You got new shoes? Yeah.
He's doing fine. There are lots of good pictures of him.
So the parent thing I don't have access to. I'm not an official parent yet, so I don't have access to those. I don't know if they'll give us a co-copy, if they'll give us that. So we have 5 kids going to that.
We're heading out.
Will you put it with my stuff, but
Yeah.
is it on so I can hear it? If
It's
I need
on.
it?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Yep.
Oh yeah? Okay. Did you watch the whole thing? Did you watch the back? Okay. I really need to find time for that. one says girl dad and one says like number one dad or something like that. They get you because I wanted the socks from this place, but to get free shipping, you spend a certain amount of money, and I was like, yeah, I'm gonna buy them too. So it got me, it saved me $1. So I got me more. So yeah, and I got them in different colors too. I think I got blue and orange, and one and orange and the other. For the baseball game. And then what is the Omaha game? When is the game that's in Omaha? Tomorrow? When is it? Starts tomorrow?
I think it's a 2K mode.
Oh, is that? I don't, College World Series, I don't know how the rules work.
Rabbi,
Yes.
I wanted to ask you something about the Sunday funeral service for John Paul.
Yes. It's gonna be at the cemetery. So Raven Rose is doing it, but the funeral's not at the funeral home, it's at the cemetery, the Beth Shalom Cemetery on Fort Boulevard.
Oh, yeah, the cemetery for this congregation, so it says, yeah, I've been to that cemetery.
So 9:30 we're gonna meet graveside, and then after the funeral, we're doing
This is years ago, $3 for.
Okay.
I go, who's gonna sell 3,000 tickets? He goes, you'll sell 500, I'll sell 500, everybody else will sell. I said, are you serious? We don't have people in our club who can sell.
Well, that's helpful that you're able to, have them do that.
He didn't even think, he was just gonna write out a $3,000 check,
Oh, just like out of the budget of the organization?
which we didn't have 3,000. But
Too much of an optimist.
They'll give you the shirt off your back and
He's probably still there for a little bit longer. It's only 7 something.